Today's dish is biryani. Assalamu alaikum. Today I will be sharing a very simple recipe called biryani, and usually it takes a long time to make this recipe, but I have a way where you can simply make it within 30 minutes. So let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will be learning how to make a biryani. So let's begin. Over here, I have one whole chicken cut into 16 pieces, washed, and you will be needing 1 cup of yogurt right here. It should be a little bit sour, and I have half a cup of oil and just a little bit of color. It's a food color. I just get a pinch, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon, that I will be adding on top of the rice when they're cooked. And of course, I will be using 2 cups of rice right here. I'm going to wash them and boil them separately. That you will be needing. And also for the spices, we will be needing right here. I have chili. This is a chili powder, 2 teaspoons. I have turmeric, which is 1/4 of a teaspoon. And then over here, I have salt, which is about 2 teaspoons. They can be just heaped or just level, so about 2 teaspoons of salt. So over here I have 2 spices mixed together, jaifal and javitri. They are together, half a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of javitri, that is called mace, M-A-C-E, mace, and jaifal. Jaifal is called nutmeg, N-U-T-M-U-G, mug, nutmeg and mace, all together half teaspoon. Don't try to put too much in there. It's going to be very spicy then. So I hope you remember the names, nutmeg and mace, in a powder form, half a teaspoon altogether. And over here I have 10 to 20 aloo bukhara. You call it prunes also. So they're not pitted, they have a pit inside them, and you can get it from any Indian or Pakistani stores. So these are the spices you will be needing. And also you will be needing 4 to 5 bay leaves, and then this is a small cardamom, choti ilaichi. You will be needing them about four of them should be enough. And then I have over here whole black pepper, whole black pepper, about 10 to 12 black pepper, 10 to 12. And these are cloves, so about 10 cloves, 10 to 12 cloves. And I have 1 cinnamon stick, which I have broken into pieces. 1 cinnamon stick should be good. And this is a black big cardamom right here. That's how it looks like. So I got 2 of them. This is also cardamom, but it is called badi ilaichi in Urdu, and you just need 2 of those. And this is whole cumin. So I'm taking 1 teaspoonful. So that's all you will be needing. And for the veggie part, I have like about 10 to 15 small green chilies. You can use them if you like spicy food. If you don't, then just don't use them and use something else, like maybe the big ones, the big chilies. And I have a whole big onion that I will be using. And then again, I have 8 Roma tomatoes, and then I have 6 red potatoes. So once you have all your ingredients right here and your veggies, I think we're ready to start. So I have like about 1 lobe of garlic and a small piece of ginger that I will be also using in this recipe. So let's begin with cutting up the big onion. So I'm gonna cut it and brown my onion first. And for a recipe tip, I will be making the onion a little bit golden. It should be golden, but not to a point where it is black. So I'll show you the color that I will be doing the when I'm gonna frying the onion. And also make sure you take out half of the onion, and so in this way, half onion we're gonna use it in the biryani, half I'm gonna spread it over the rice when they're fully cooked. So quickly, I'm gonna slice these onions just like that, and here you go. The onions are sliced. I'm gonna put it away, and I'll take my lobe of and always whenever you're crushing the garlic, do not crush it from this side because this is going to fall apart. So crush it from this side so it'll keep them all together. So just crush them like this, and it's not going to take long, maybe a few minutes, and we will have our garlic ready for the recipe. And you can do some other way also. You can, of course, peel the garlic and crush it, or whichever way is easier for you, to follow that. For me, I find it this very, very easy and very quick way to get the crushed garlic. But of course, you know, everybody has their own preferences. So you can use whatever method suits you. It's your own choice. And as you can see, all the crushed garlic went inside, and I have a crushed garlic right here, and I'm going to separate it. So I have a piece of garlic right here, and I'm just going to crush it just like that. It is not that hard. It looks hard, but it isn't. And get a shredder, which is this big. The small shredders is very difficult to shred. I don't like them. I like the big shredder like that. And I'm going to quickly shred the garlic as well. And maybe less than 10 seconds or 20 seconds, my garlic is all ready to be used. And this other part that you're seeing, you don't really need it, because this part I usually throw it away. I really don't need it because the garlic went on the other side, and I usually peel the ginger went the other side. So here you go. I have like one and a half teaspoon of ginger and 1.5 teaspoon of garlic, and I have also chopped up my onion. So let's start cooking the biryani. The first step is I will be taking about half a cup of oil, and I will be putting it in, and I'm going to have the flame on a medium high, not too low, not too high, but medium high, so I can brown the onions. And I'm going to put my chopped up onions in there, and we let them get brown. See how nicely my onions are being fried, and I will just leave it on a medium high flame, and I'm going to wait till they change color, and I'm just going to cover it and wait. In the meanwhile, my water for the rice that I will be using is boiling. I have put like for 2 cups of rice, I have used like 10 to 15 cups of water, and you can put more because I will be draining all the water. So water, it doesn't matter, you don't have to measure it. You can put 15 cups, 20 cups, however cups you want. And it's almost boiling, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt in there. So here, this is 2 teaspoons of oil, 2 teaspoons of salt that I'm adding in the water, and I will let it boil on a very high flame. Once it starts boiling, I will add my rice in there, and I'm going to let them boil for about 5 minutes. I'm going to drain them, and I'm going to use them for the biryani. So that's it. So So now I'm gonna start cutting my tomatoes. So I will just show you one and you can do the rest. So I'll just cut my tomatoes into small pieces like that. And I will add that to the chicken. Once I add the chicken, I'm gonna add these into the chicken. And also for biryani, I will be using these red potatoes, and I will be slicing them like this. Then I will be showing you how to cook them as well. This is the pieces I'm doing. This is the size. Now, as you can see, my onion are coming, have changed the color, and that's the color I'm looking for. As you can see, they're getting brown right here. It's a beautiful color they're getting. So you don't want to make them black. Always remember, you want to make them golden, but not black. People who make the onions black for any recipe, it tastes very, very bad. So do not make your onions brown. So at this point, I'm going to take all the onions out, and they are done. And half of them I'm going to save it to garnish on top of the rice, and half onions I'm going to add in the chicken. So let's take them out at this point. So this is the color of the onions. As you can see, they're beautifully brown color, and I'm going to use just half. I'll divide it into half. Half I'm going to use it on top of the rice. Half I'm going to use it in the chicken. So in this remaining oil, as you can see, I'm going to add the chicken. So as you have seen, I have added my chicken into the remaining oil, and now I'm going to just put the ginger and garlic that I've crushed, and also I will be adding all these spices into the chicken as well. And now I'm going to add my other spices. All of them will go in there, all of them, like this. Now here goes my tomatoes into the chicken. I'm adding every single thing that I do except for the color. The color I'm not going to add, and my yogurt, and I will add my green chilies as well right here. So now every single thing that I cut, all the spices, everything. And now, like I said, I'm going to add about half of the onions as well. So now on a high flame, I'm going to mix everything in the pot. The chicken, yogurt, tomato, ginger, garlic, all the spices, every single thing. I'm going to mix it well like this. And I will leave it on a very, very high flame, the highest flame that you have. And I will keep on stirring it and watching it, and I will let it cook. I will not close the lid of this recipe because I want all the water to evaporate. That's why I will not close this pot. I will leave it open, and after some time you will notice all the water will start to evaporate, and in the end, if I need to, then I'll cover it in the end. Right now I'll just leave it on a high flame, and I will be watching it. Probably give it like about 5 to 10 minutes. This whole thing will be blended all together. So let's wait. So as for the rice, I have put water in them, and I'm just gonna drain the water, all the dirty water, and the clean rice will be in the back. So as you can see, my water is bubbling. See, do you see the bubbles? So it's almost boiled, and I'm just going to add my washed rice into the pot. So now I'm gonna, since the water is boiling and I put the rice in, I'm just gonna wait about 5 minutes the oil to boil, and then we'll take them out. So as you can see, in 5 minutes, my chicken is almost getting done, and all the ingredients that I have added in the kitchen, everything is nicely cooking. And but I see a lot of water in the chicken. So still the flame is very high, and I was nearby. I was doing a few other stuff, and I kept on coming back and checking, and I was just stirring it like that now and then, because if you leave it on a high flame and forget about it, then it's gonna of course burn from the bottom, and so you don't want to do that. So you can be probably washing dishes or doing something else, and from time to time you should be coming back and checking up on your chicken and just stirring it like that for a few minutes, and then just go back and do whatever you're doing, but keep an eye on the chicken. Just don't leave it on the stove and forget about your um, about your dish. So continue to stir like that, and I'm just going to leave it like that for another 5 minutes, and I'm just going to go do a few things, but I'll be around the kitchen. I'm not going to leave the kitchen, and let's see what happens in another 5 minutes. As you can see, my rice are totally cooked. In when the water was boiling, I added the rice, and it took me after the boiling point, I added the rice, and it took me 10 minutes to boil them, and now these rice are ready to be strained out. So now I'm ready to strain out the water in the strainer. So all the rice are strained out, and I'm just going to cover it until the chicken is ready, and I'll add them on the top. As you can see, all the water is dry now, and I was stirring it continuously towards the end. Do you see on the bottom, you see any running water? There isn't. So that's a sign it's cooked. But you want to leave some masala. You don't want to get rid of all the gravy, because in biryani you need some gravy for the rice. So my chicken is close to done. See? So right here, I see little oil on the sides. Since I didn't add too much oil, so you wouldn't be seeing a lot of oil on the sides. But if you want to, go ahead. You can use 1 cup of oil, oil if you like to. But I used half a cup. But like I said, you can use 1 cup of oil, and then you're gonna see lots of oil around this, around the edges. But I did not use a lot of oil, so my biryani is kind of, you're not gonna be seeing a lot of running oil in it. So right here, so I think I'm gonna dish it out, because I don't see any water, and of course there is some gravy that I would be needing for my rice. So let's take it out. It's ready to be taken out. See? So I have added my chicken and the gravy in my tray. So now what I'll do is I will add all the rice on the top. So here you go. My rice is usually cooked. I always use cooked. I don't usually in this dish. A lot of people from Pakistan, they use half cooked rice for this recipe, and I don't. I happen to not like that. My rice are fully cooked. See, they're eatable. They're not half cooked. For this recipe, I know a lot of people prefer to using half cooked rice, but I happen to not do that. And now I'm just gonna add a little bit of onions that I left, and of course I'm just gonna add a little color that I left also. So this is the color I'm adding. As you can see, the color, it's a beautiful, you can use yellow color. That's what I'm using. It's a food color. It just gives a beautiful color to the dish. And I guess I am all done garnishing. Some people, if they happen to have mint, they use mint as well at this point, and I don't have any mint in the house, so that's all I'll be doing. And now I will be covering this with this foil, just like that. And make sure when you cover your biryani, no heat escapes, because you want to build up some so I am wrapping this foil tightly so no air will escape. See, I'm pressing the edges, and it is totally closed now. No heat should escape, and I'm gonna stick that in the oven. So as you can see, I have put my tray in the oven in the middle rack, and I'm gonna leave that there for 30 minutes, and the temperature right here is 350, and I will leave it for about 30 minutes, and then I'm just gonna mix the biryani, or I'll leave it like that, and I will take it out. So now I will be frying in a shallow pan. I will be frying some potatoes for the biryani. So it's going to be very little oil, maybe 2 tablespoons. That's about it. So now I will just add these potatoes just like that. And I will add a little bit of pepper and salt on the top, and since it's an iron skillet, they will become crisp towards the end. And that's it. I think that's enough right now. So I'm just going to sprinkle some salt and pepper on top. So just a pinch, not a lot. You don't want to add so much pepper in it, just a pinch. And a pinch of salt, of course, on the potatoes, just like that, pinch, and I will let it cook. And I will cover it like this, and I'm going to turn the flame on to medium low for 5 minutes, and we'll check. So in 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm going to turn this bake into 250, and I'm gonna let the my rice stay in there for another 20 minutes on 250. So as you can see, I have turned them over, and they are nice and brown on one side, and now I'm gonna let them cook from the other side and let them get brown from the other side, and I will cover it again for 5 minutes so it'll get nice and brown, and also soften it up. And now my potatoes, let me check. They are completely done, and I'm going to take them out. So after 30 minutes, I took out my biryani. So I left my biryani in the oven 10 minutes on 350, and then 20 minutes on 250. So it just kind of gives it a nice aroma, and I'm just gonna open it now to see how my rice are. So it's your choice. If you want to mix it, mix it. If not, then it's everybody's own choice. So this is my biryani right here, biryani tray. It's all ready to serve. So that's it. So now I have dished it out, my biryani, and I put some aloo there as well, some potatoes, and they are so soft, and from both sides you can see they are brown. And this is my final dish. I hope you enjoy it, and you can put a little bit raita on the side. Raita just I made, and just a little bit of salad, and this is my plate. So I hope you enjoy it.